Well, don't you want to watch it?
Hours. I picked up, I originally was supposed to pick this passenger up here near me. She sends me a text and wants me to come to Castlewood to pick her up, which is an hour away from where I live, and then drive her up to just to the other side of Lexington over into Ohio. She's got to go to court up there. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'll drop her off. She's got a 10 o'clock court time. So I had to leave at like 4:30 in the morning to go pick her up and get her up to where she's
Fred.
Yeah. So I get her up there and she's in that damn courtroom. She gets there at 10 o'clock. She doesn't come out until 1 o'clock from the courtroom. So that's already putting me behind it.
Because we had talked during the day and you said, I'm just waiting for it. And if this woman doesn't come out soon, I'm leaving.
Right. That's correct. That's correct. And right after I hung up with you, and this was like around 1 o'clock, I think, when you made that call. So she gets in the car and I said, okay, we're ready to go. Let's get you home. She said, no, I have to go to the parole office.
We have to call the police.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so I said, okay, where is it? So she gets the address. It's the wrong address, of course. So I drive around town looking for a freaking parole office. I find it. She goes in there. She gets in there. It's like about 1:30.
Welcome once again. Today we are talking about Tom's incessant need to one-up the big three. This time by inviting Randy Callahan onto PCL in a vain attempt to reshape the legacy in his own image. Perhaps both the greatest and most impotent attempt we have seen yet. Let's be honest. After the last 5 or 6 years of PCL, there is little to no interest in the modern-day Perry product from any community. But this did generate what little amounts to community buzz these days. Somehow, though, the whole thing felt less like an interview and more like Tom had decided to film their first date.
Is this like a video that's playing, or is this like... And it was live, and it took me a couple of beats to realize what I'm looking at. And I'm looking at Perry, and then I feel bad, and I'm like, shit. And what I should have done is I should have taken a screenshot of it, like on the computer, but I didn't. I actually like just picked up my phone. And I was like, no one's gonna believe this, right. So I have to at least. No, I'm never gonna show the real version. No, very few people have seen the real version, but I took a picture of it.
Tom brought Randy on because he thought Randy Callahan could make PCL feel relevant again. But the longer they talked, the harder it became for me to ignore the resemblance. Two aging show business casualties, both obsessed with reputation, both convinced they are owed a better legacy, and both able to explain themselves in ways that make them look worse.
Another casting director was casting an adult video. This boy's 17, he was like 2 weeks from becoming 18. Can I do it in my underwear? And I said, well, I don't care, you know. So I took his pictures. The kid's like was a bully. He still is today from some research I've done. I think I pleaded for some charge about, I don't know, doing something wrong, you know, some non-criminal act or something, which was nothing. I paid no fines, nothing. If there was a lawsuit, it was me against Entertainment Tonight, but that never went to court. It was never filed as a lawsuit. My lawyer called them and said this is what's going to happen, and they cut a check for $25,000. The kid never got another part or another extra part or another role in anything in Hollywood because he was known for being a bully, and he really was such a bully. Even today, what's the word I'm looking for? It just wasn't believable.
This, effectively, was the tone of the entire interview. During the 4-hour runtime, more time was spent talking about Randy's Hollywood experience.
Once in a while, like you're doing, so if you get in, how do you transition from wanting to be an actor to being a casting agent?
So, funny you should mention that, because that's a good question. So,
thank you.
In all of my wisdom, I'm sitting at home one day thinking,
his life and upbringing.
As the story goes, when I was born, my mother and I didn't connect for whatever reason. And she literally put me in a trash can. And a neighbor picked me up and kept me for 6 months.
And lest we forget the man's charity work.
I went to work with an organization, and it's a 501c3, which is a charity organization. Because I've been doing charity work all my life, Tom, even in Hollywood, because Hollywood affords me better resources to do charity work for Children of the Night in Hollywood. And that was a charity organization that took runaway children. I want to do my charity work.
Yes, far more time was spent on completely asinine topics than on any sort of allegation made against the man, whether from Perry or the young man who was not Perry. And I think it goes without saying, the audience was growing agitated. Yes, it was quite something watching Tom larp as Howard Stern. Later, even Perry had to ask the obvious question.
Why can I get through anything without you shaking your
Star
head?
Trek had nothing to do with what happened to me in '92.
Yes, I know.
Why do you even bring up Star Trek?
Because we talked about it.
Well, you talked about Star Trek, okay? Whoop-de-doo.
Yes, and if you will indulge me for one moment, this waffling did lead Tom and Randy into talking about Star Trek, which they had also apparently done for an hour the prior night. Both stated their dislike of Deep Space Nine. Tom does not like Captain Sisko.
I never liked the. Is he the captain? Is it Cisco, the captain?
Anyone's guess as to why. And Randy feels Deep Space Nine does not have enough space battles.
And there's just not enough action in Deep Space Nine.
Because they're on a station and they're not really traveling around.
It's the Klingons, sir. They're here.
But perhaps it is no surprise these two men had little interest in a series about a son of the divine who sacrifices himself for all life and ascends beyond them. And given Randy's favorite Star Trek is the one with the singing Klingons, that alone may be all the evidence required to dismiss his testimony in full. But before I waste your time to the same degree as whatever dark occasion Tom and Randy held the other night, let us get to the part the PCL audience actually wanted to hear. Randy's story was all over the place, much as it was last time on the PCL detractor stream, Men Holding Hands. Tom seemed to think Randy informing them that Perry pulled a man over on the freeway instead of a Shannon Doherty lookalike was a galaxy brain move.
If you're telling people that, like, he really, the Shannon Doherty looked like was actually a guy, that's a Bravo troll. That's like, you know, that's some serious disinformation.
But
I never,
this
is my first time hearing that.
But that was about the extent of the so-called false details we were informed had been thrown in throughout the years. Randy still expects you to believe his Perry was dumpster diving story, and that this was the reason Perry was called to Randy's office.
And Perry decides to go dumpster diving. He's half in. His ass is up in the air and his legs are up in the air. You cannot see his torso down because he's digging in this dumpster. And I know this because the first AD took a Polaroid.
He also still expects you to believe Perry handed him $1,500 for his SAG vouchers.
Over $500, I will write you up a SAG voucher.
So this is like a black market SAG voucher that you're.
Correct. Oh, absolutely.
I will not waste your time explaining why Randy's 1992 story does not make sense. By now, I feel you have the measure of the man anyway. Needless to say, Tom, at least at this stage, accepted it all. His audience, which had been growing more and more irritated with the shape of this thing, were not shy about how they felt it was all going. And I guess now is probably a good time to mention that Tom and Randy apparently have some kind of NDA, which does help explain why Tom appears to be handling Randy with such a soft touch. Now, some among the PCL faithful might argue Tom was simply giving Randy enough rope to hang himself, as the old expression goes. I myself saw it from a different angle whilst watching this. I think Tom saw this as some sort of RCL soft launch.
After this, this is gonna, make waves, this interview. Where would you like to go with this as far as confronting Perry, maybe down the road?
Yeah. As I've said to you, I want to get my story out there, and I want people to know who I really am. And if you know that, then you can make a decision based on this, because I just want it out of my life. And if you think I'm full of shit, more power to you. I don't care. I just want to make sure that at least my side's out there now, and I can move on from that. And hopefully get my own podcast going. Maybe, I have that Cameo thing that's set up.
Oh, now. We should mention that.
Yeah.
If you would like to book Mr. Callahan for a cameo, wish you a happy birthday, maybe a graduation thing, maybe wish you a happy 4th of July, cameo.com/Randy Callahan.
Yeah. And so I'm hoping to move on to this, and if I can start my own podcast and people can come and
things I said to you is like, with your own podcast is like, listen, Perry's been using your voice, like, I'll create a Perry voice for you.
Oh, I'd love that. And
then people can send in comments as Perry to you. Right. I mean, how meta would that be?
Yeah.
And I think your channel, now I think we agree that we shouldn't do it on your main channel, but like it'll be youtube.com/Randy Callahan Live. So it's not set up yet or anything, but that'll be coming soon.
Yeah, I'm in the process of getting it set up. I put some videos up because I have this thing when I'm making these videos that people are being stupid on the street. I'm running a commentary behind it.
Right.
He's made me a famous internet, rolling off your tongue, Randy Callahan Live, Yeah,
I mean, you do have a built-in audience, which is not.
So why not? Why not try to capitalize off it? Because maybe I can recoup some of what he's caused me to lose.
I think you can, and also maybe build up to a live confrontation at some point, whether it's in the wrestling ring or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Given the hostile reaction to this stream, I would not be surprised if Tom has since rethought his Randy expansion plans. In total, this stream was just over 4 hours long. They talked about Perry for maybe 15 minutes. But never one to say no to a chance to milk something, Tom decided to show the interview to Perry the very next day. This members-only Randy reaction follow-up stream was, I suppose, what you would call typical modern-day PCL.
There's no AT&T service is not allowed at this house.
Tom claimed his terrible interview was the result of neutrality.
What happened? Okay, so I interviewed Mr. Callahan, and my goal with the interview was to let him tell his side of the story. My job as an interviewer wasn't to necessarily grill him from a, antagonist point, because I wanted to be, try to be as neutral as possible. You understand? So.
And Perry was interrogated by Tom about the location where, to use Perry's own delicate phrasing, he blew Randy. I will spare you Tom's investigative process and skip ahead to the part where he started to suspect Randy might be lying and offered him the faintest possible pushback.
I might not get him.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Callahan, do you happen to be watching right now? Are you?
Yeah, no, I'm watching.
Okay.
I haven't left his piece, but I'm watching.
Okay, so I have you on the air. So we found an LA Weekly ad for Total Eclipse Productions that lists the address at 4731 Laurel Canyon Boulevard, and the ad was from March of '92.
Right. So, read the ad again.
Into a different direction. When you talked about, because Perry's talked about the thing about you on Entertainment Tonight, and that they, a week later, what Perry hasn't heard is they retracted that and paid you for a settlement.
That's correct.
Do you have a copy anywhere of that retraction?
I might have a videotape from many, many years ago. If I do, I'd have to look for it. I don't know where it's at, and I may or may not, but I'm sure that it exists.
Okay. Or any paper apology, check, or any copy or whatever of the retraction?
No, that's 30 some odd years ago. I just,
yeah, but I would think that would be a really important thing to keep, though. If
not for 30 years, because I don't care. It didn't affect me negatively for the most part.
Really?
Yeah, really. Really.
Like an accusation about a 17-year-old doesn't affect you?
Oh, it affects me personally. I'm saying it has not affected me in my profession.
Right, but I'm just saying if you're completely validated by a retraction, that wouldn't be important to you to preserve?
No,
What are you guys talking about?
Anything more than it was that arrest record that came out, because nothing happened with it. Nothing followed suit with it. People like Perry and other people that you and I both know take that kind of information and weaponize it to try to make somebody go, oh, I'm so scared you found this out. Nothing happened.
Right. Okay. No. I'm not looking to argue it. I'm just saying that.
I'm not keeping a bunch of paperwork from 30 years ago. I just don't do it. Like, I don't have all the payroll records from 30 years
right,
ago.
but I'm just saying if something cleared me in a legal fashion after an accusation like that, you better believe I'd preserve that somehow.
Never, ever come up until now. Never. In the past 32 years,
it did come up, though. It came up on Entertainment Tonight.
I'm saying since then, you're talking 30 years.
Right, I understand. No, since then, yes, you're right.
Yeah, the rape.
It has never come back up. It has never come back, never been mentioned by anything or anybody anywhere until these people, I'm going to use good language, until these people get a hold of something like that and weaponize it.
Right.
And I'm not having it. I don't care.
Okay. All right.
I saw that at DB's place.
Instead of going around and saying, oh, you did this, and calling me a pedophile and a child molester, that's a lie. It never happened. And you should be sorry you say things like that about people, because it can be very damning to people's reputation. It hasn't affected me, so I could care less if it's out there. I really could.
Okay. I'm gonna take you on your word at that. Absolutely, and I don't mean to.
And if Perry doesn't like it, I don't care. Perry can weaponize it all day long. I don't care.
because it's not important to me. It's not 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Hell, you hear these girls coming forward telling that Perry assaulted them 15 and 20 years ago. That's a lie, and I don't care.
What?
So what?
There was never a girl that I ever assaulted at any
You
time.
want me to do that? I can't choose.
What girl are you talking about with Perry?
Any of these things I hear when they say women that he's assaulted women. If he met anybody on Laurel Canyon, it was Mike Johnson. It wasn't
Mike
him.
Johnson, yes.
And this is why the idea that Tom had been letting Randy hang himself does not really work for me. The moment Randy was presented with any sort of pressure, he could not help but reveal, in my eyes at least, that he is untrustworthy. And he managed to do it in a much faster and more entertaining way than whatever you would call the 4-hour interview that came before it. That was an evil occasion, wasn't it? This interview was not for PCL fans, nor was it to get to the truth behind the myth of '92. This interview only served two people, and they were the two people on screen. Both men appeared to see dollar signs when they looked at one another. But it does not appear to have gone the way either of them thought it might. Funny that, because from the outside it was painfully obvious what neither of them seemed able to see. They were not looking at opportunity. They were looking into a mirror of themselves. The real question is whether either man had the good sense to be horrified by the reflection. And I thought that was where this story ended. Well, at least for the time being. But you see, just before rendering the video, some minor developments occurred. First of all, Tom has told the PCL audience, and please do allow me to paraphrase, that there is far more to milk out of this yet, which I am sure viewers of this channel do not need to see a clip to believe. It is not exactly surprising, but given how openly segments of his audience are detesting these latest developments, I thought perhaps he might reconsider. But the second minor development was this. Here you see Randy chatting away in PCL, except, of course, this is not Randy. A fake Randy wandered in, behaved like Randy, and nobody even blinked, which may be the most damning review of the real man imaginable. Anything to say? Not.
I'll see you again in 25 years. Meanwhile,